Sectional championship.
All right, we ready? We'll call the Board of Works to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let the minutes reflect. We're all here today. Good to see everybody. Appreciate everyone taking time to come in today as we get through this agenda. We'll start with the minutes from the October 16th meeting.
I was traveling, so I'll have to rely on you.
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Let's do reports or on communications. First thing I want to do today is I want to do a little pause and remember of our veterans who are work in the city, and obviously all of our veterans, but with special notation for our veterans that are working in the city. And to that end, our street superintendent, Dustin Dillon, I found out is a closet poet. And he's prepared a small poem for honoring those veterans that I want to read today. And I know he's going to be embarrassed that I mentioned his name, but it's certainly an honor too. So I want to read this poem again in honor of our, in special honor of the veterans that work for our city, but obviously all veterans. For the ones that don't get the credit, to all those that put on a uniform, stand tall and strong with a sovereign gun in hand. You don't do it for the glory, but for Old Glory, for which she stands. For all the liberties we live, the ones we can't begin to define, there's a soldier going without sleep, putting their life on the line. All the training, blood, sweat, and tears they put in allows the beauty to live easy, just like a summer's wind. As you go beyond a call of duty out there feeling alone, know that there's many of us that can't wait simply for you to return home. Too few Americans can understand your choice of passage in life. To each one of us that lives in light of your sacrifice. Take a minute to think of times you felt low, and remember there's always been a soldier ready to take your blow. So take off your hat when you see that precious flag for those which have served, for it's far too often neither get the credit deserved. So thank you to all of our veterans. Thank you to Dustin for his articulations that I certainly couldn't put in poem and song and all the other creative ways to honor our veterans for what they do. I wish Dustin was here, but I know he's out busy with his guys. They're doing some paving and picking up leaves, and busy day. They gotta pick up leaves while they can. So thank you, Dustin, and again, thank you to all our veterans. So kind of back to reality here, under reports or on communication, I wanted to announce that we're canceling First Friday tonight because of the surge in COVID cases in the county, in the state, in the city. We will be having the truck. This was a Thanks for Giving, where we had a truck we were going to fill with donations for our local non-for-profits, and we feel like that's still important to do. So we're going to have a drive-through in the parking lot here. The truck will be there. We'll have staff. We don't want anybody getting out of the car. We're all going to be masked up, and we will take those donations and place them in the truck. But there will be no vendors. There will be no First Friday events tonight. We've got a 1 o'clock press conference scheduled to address the concerns that we've got with the COVID spike in the community, the increase in hospitalizations, the big numbers that are starting to roll in, and most of all, the importance of people taking personal responsibility to try and knock this thing down. So we'll be back at 1 o'clock with more information on that. But I did, knowing we've got about 5 hours until First Friday starts, 6 hours, I wanted to get that out. The hours will be slightly modified. It shows on the event that it goes from 5 to 9, but the truck will be in the parking lot from 5 to 8. So we'll try and shorten that a little bit. I know it's a disappointment. It's a beautiful night, but we had 30-some vendors planned to come down, and I know it would have been a big night, and I don't think it's the right thing to do. So unfortunately, we're canceling First Friday tonight. With
Mayor-
that,
Mayor, any needs that, with the truck, like from local, like what to bring, or was there any?
oh, yes, thank
specifics,
you,
or-
thank you. I actually meant to read that
Sometimes
off,
there's
read that
a need or
off.
Something that, yeah.
Um,
They listed?
Please bring non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, toiletries, and our cash donations to the courthouse square, and it'll be the Central Park.
Okay.
But Salvation Army and Combined Community Services will be the benefactors of these donations. And of course, our sponsors, Dr. Dane and Mary Louise Miller Foundation, New Life Christian Church, City of Warsaw, and Warsaw Community Development Corporation will still be managing this very much scaled-down activity. So,
Thank you.
yes, thanks for reminding me of that. I appreciate that. So with no unfinished business, we'll be moving to new business. We'll start with Housing Authority. I see Pam's here. We've got a release, mortgage release. That, Pam, you want to just explain real quick this one?
We have two of them. We have two homes in Warsaw that have gone through the affordability period and paid their portions in full. So we're ready to release the mortgages. And this is the last of them for the year. And I will have gotten them all done on time this year.
So that's at 717 Cook Street and 410 West Winona Avenue. Those properties have their owners have participated in the program. What type of repairs were made? Do you remember?
On the one, it was a sewer issue, and the other one was a roof and a furnace and a water heater and electrical.
Great. Questions?
Now, do you want them done separately?
I think we could do them together.
I'll move we approve the two mortgage releases, or approve the mortgage releases on both Luck and Vega.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, thank you. Right here.
Oh, you were supposed to sign mine. Sign these ones instead, and I'll give her one.
We're supposed to sign what?
Sign those two.
Oh, I will.
Because I notarize them, so otherwise you have one that's not notarized.
Should I sign them all?
No, sign these two, and then I have two more.
Okay.
Aye, Pam. Aye.
Hi there.
I hate them. It's hard for you, but
It's all right.
thank you.
There's two here. You want both these signed? Those are stuck together.
Thanks, Pam.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And Pam, as always, thank you for your hard work
You
in
just set those aside, Joe.
taking care of community needs and housing emergencies that HOW takes care of. That's a very important need, especially in this time, and we're most appreciative of your work in identifying those situations and responding to them. So thank you. And Housing Opportunities, Housing Authority.
Joe, could you give me the pen back, please? Pen.
There you go. Anything else?
No.
She might want to sanitize.
You might want to spray that down, that's right. All right, item number 3 would be the airport hangar, 121 door modification contract.
It's
Nick?
Bid.
Yep.
Have the contract.
So this is the bid that I'm presenting to you guys. The airport board went out for bid about a month and a half ago. We contacted several companies. We had several plan holders, but only one company submitted a bid. That was from Robinson Construction. Hangar 121 was built in 1985, and the hangar door has reached its lifespan. It is actually to the point where it has to be replaced. It cannot be repaired anymore. So we are looking at removing the 3 overhead garage door style doors that are there and replacing it with one bifold door that will be the full span of that building. It will be approximately 120 feet wide and 28 feet tall to accommodate their aircraft. This door, the low bid, well, the bid that I'm proposing you guys accept is for $644,262. And this door will last far longer than I will be employed at the city. It should hopefully last between 50 and 75 years. So that is my recommendation, that we go ahead and we approve this bid. And I can answer any questions that you guys might have about it.
I would add that door is also going to expand the capacity of the types of aircraft that can be stored in there
Very much.
by
yeah.
virtue of its size. So we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone here, but most importantly is that the door is costing us a lot of money every year to repair, and it's time to take care of it, so.
You know, looking at the amount, I'm just wondering, legal, or Nick, you can help out, the bidding and protocol, we're good there with just one that's in this amount? I mean,
Yes. So
Yeah.
we went to our engineer, CHA. We had them do a pre-bid cost estimate, what they felt a replacement for this style and type of door would be, and their estimate was between $550,000 and $750,000. So because this falls in that range, we are okay with just the one bid.
Okay.
That was my question.
Yep.
Just,
Thank you.
And we also documented at our last board meeting, we did solicit 5 other companies, but only one chose to submit, so.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Good question.
yeah.
I just thought,
Appropriate.
I can't ever remember,
Nope.
I did, the red flag for me was the amount,
Yep.
and I know,
Yep.
okay, so thank you.
All right.
I move to accept.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So this was misprinted. It's not the contract, it was the acceptance of the bid, and the contract will follow.
Yep,
Okay.
we're finalizing that right now. We'll have
Yep.
that at the next board works.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Nick. All right, item number 4, building and plan, Anchorage Road. Payout number 14.
Yeah, this is
Engineering.
just your standard pay application for our ongoing NDOT project along Anchorage Road. It's the 14th one in the amount of $3,369.87, and is currently being paid out of edit, and that will be 80% reimbursed through the NDOT project.
Questions?
No, I'll move to approve the pay app.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, item 5 is a deed of dedication.
So this dedication is along Fruit Ridge Drive, which is where State Road 15 and Rosella Road, the other side of Rosella Road, is referred to as Fruit Ridge Drive. A portion of that is currently right-of-way. There was another portion that we have a sanitary sewer easement over, an access agreement as part of that easement. We had been maintaining this road that goes back, and it's been a part of our road mileage, but it was not officially indicated as right-of-way. It was just an easement for the sanitary sewer. And talking to the street department, they were okay with taking ownership of that road, as they have been maintaining it over the last decade or so. So it's just requesting the Board of Works accept this deed of dedication, and it'll get recorded, and we'll officially take ownership of that as right-of-way.
Jeremy, just for my edification, how many homes are down that street? Are there a couple?
There's 2 currently that would access was referred to as the easement, but there is another lot that'll probably have a house or 2 on. So
Gotcha.
it might end up being 4 in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Other questions?
No?
I move to accept.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Yep.
Item number 6, PD. Scott, it's Pro Air agreement.
Yes, this is a contract renewal with Pro Air. We've used this company for an extended period of time, multiple years. We've combined the agreement with police and fire so that for cost effectiveness. And as I was reading this, I think I recall Charlie Smith was the one that requested that we put these together so we could possibly save some money. It's been years ago, so. But with that being said, I believe the dollar amounts are consistent with the year past. And again, this for both police and fire. This is for the air tanks and the maintenance of those air tanks, the dive team and then the fire department's dive team, and I think other purposes, correct? Just ask for your approval to renew the contract with Pro Air.
Yeah, and we saw the fire side of this at the fire territory meeting this Monday. Will that request all feeds into this one?
Yes, it did. The fire territory board approved our portion.
Approve the fire portion of this, so, yeah.
I move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion?
Kudos to Charlie.
Yeah. Coach Smith.
Amen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? I miss Charlie.
I do too. We talked about him yesterday.
All right. And this is a request to participate in the, no, excuse me, this is the interlocal agreement with the county for the records maintenance management server.
Correct. This is the same dollar amount that we entered into over a decade ago with the Sheriff's Department for the interlocal agreement. And this is maintenance fees, access to records management server. And again, the fee is the same. And this is for 2021. We're just getting this here in advance. The contract's already been signed by the interlocal agreement's already been signed by the commissioners. The amount of $30,000.
Scott, would you just help me with this just a little bit, just again, so I understand? We share that, we use the county servers where all these records are located on, correct?
Correct. I guess the software, the OSSI is, I believe, the current name of the software.
Yeah.
It's changed names. It's changed names a few times, but that's countywide. So, I mean, it's used by police, fire, but all the small towns, and it was agreed upon, many years ago that the city of Warsaw would contribute the $30,000 for that. But these are, records that accessing jail records and accessing records of all police reports, incident reports,
Right.
stats, just all, records, and it's all managed under the same software for police throughout the entire county.
So there's just been an ongoing agreement with the county and pretty much all the other units within the county to share all this costs, and that's really where we're at.
Correct.
Okay. Questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Joel? Captain Beam, good to see you.
Thank you. The Warsaw Police Department is asking for permission to participate and apply for the CHIRP grant. CHIRP is the new word for OPO, Operation Pullover, or driving under the influence. And CHIRP stands for Comprehensive Hoosier Highway Injury Reduction Program. Thus, the CHIRP is a lot easier to say. This grant will be administered to Winona Lake City, the town of Winona Lake, through the Cuyahoga County Traffic Safety Partnership. There are no matching funds. It's the same as the OPO in the history, in the history was just a different name. The city is expected to get approximately $20,000, while the county will get about $84,000. So I'm seeking permission to apply and participate in this grant.
Is that pretty much what align with what we got under those two separate grants, the 20,000?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is very, very, very similar. The only difference is the name change. And there's only one grant now, which is going to hopefully make our job this year.
And Craig over at Winona has been applying for this for years and years and years.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, great.
Just as a side note, Mayor, as a reminder to the board that this 20,000 has basically been accounted for in the 2021 budget as a revenue source. So these funds we paid out of our budget is reimbursed to the city.
Reimbursement, okay, great. Questions?
No, I'll move to approve acceptance.
Second?
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. James, are you going to present the pay app for Dustin?
Yeah, this is pay application number 5 for the Hodges Addition roadway project. The project's completed, substantially complete. We're working on some punch list items to final close it out, but this is the last major expense on this project.
Great, and for everyone's reminder, this was a community crossings shared program with the state of Indiana, which that program has been reinstated, by the way. I know I'd mentioned a few months ago that state had pushed pause on that program, so we're back to that program for 2021, and obviously it has benefited our community quite well, and the work out there looks really good.
Yes.
So is this the final pay, you said?
No, the final major pay, there'll be one more pay app. We'll probably do a change order if we have to adjust quantities to get the contract amount in line, but effectively they're done. We're working on a few punch list items with Van Brown. I would expect that we would have, even potentially at their next meeting, the final payout.
Okay. So that's a $750,000 project that there's about, after this payment, there's about $51,000 left. Okay.
And most of that's held in retainage at this point.
Yes. All right, questions?
No. Again, thanks for your leadership. Countless residents appreciating the new look and then some of the issues. Finn and Brown, other contractors, street department, your leadership, I greatly appreciate it. Looks great over there. With that, I will move to approve the pay application.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you, James. Again, that's a neat project. You get a
Yeah.
chance to go out and drive the neighborhood. All right, item number 10 is a request from the Utility Payment Office on behalf of a resident. Is resident here? No. All right, you want to go ahead and present that? And then we'll have discussion about this afterwards, but I wanted Rebecca to mention that.
Basically, it's several customers, but this one in particular didn't sign up for the summer credit program and had some high bills.
Just for the,
Is that
yeah.
better?
Yeah, would you take your mask
Yes.
off though, just to talk into the
Sorry.
mic? Thank
I'm
you.
quiet. She had some high bills from watering or filling her pool, and she had called to see about getting a credit on that. And the ordinance states it's not retroactive, so the people that have called before her, we did tell them that, but she did take it further and called and talked to the mayor. And so I'm just presenting for her, asking for a credit to be issued, and for everyone else going forward, the current bill.
All right. So this is the summer credit program that we're all familiar with. When we went from a flat rate to a metered rate, this became an issue for the community. We're still kind of working through that. I believe this is the second full year.
We're in the third.
We're in the third
Yeah.
now. And the way this works is that if a resident fills their pool or sprinkles, the thought is that none of that water is going back into the sewer. So they're paying their water bill. They're paying for the water with the water vendor. But the city bases their sewer bill on that water reading. But if that water's not going down the sewer, they're not getting any of the benefit what they're being billed for. And we recognized that early on and set up this sprinkle program, and all we ask is that residents sign up for the program so that we can go through the calculations. We can actually make the calculations automatically. We look at their annual usage, their regular usage, and then when we see that spike in those summer months, we just automatically adjust that off. But the ordinance reads that we have to, that the owner of the property has to request this. And only one time, some communities you have to do it every year, if one time they have to request that they be part of this program, and that's all we ask. If they don't sign up, we don't automatically do that. And when a resident comes and has found out that they've been paying these high bills for services that they really haven't been getting, but based on that high water usage, they're asking for credit. And we've had a discussion about that. The way our ordinance reads, we can't make it retroactive, but what I'm asking you all to consider is that if someone looks at their bill, notices that it's high, and then brings it in other words, they haven't paid their bill yet, that we could issue a credit for that current bill, but not make it retroactive. In other words, have to go back and pay, make refunds. So, and that credit for that current unpaid bill would be a little bit of a token for them signing up for the program, so that it might encourage more folks to sign up for the program, so we don't have these problems in the future. Obviously, the further along we go, it's a very new program, further along we go, the less and less that's going to become a problem. But when someone purchases, when real estate changes hand, that new owner still has to come in and make that request for that. Now, totally outside of that, if someone has a leak and we determine that that leak is something that, again, has caused their water usage to spike and it's abnormal from what they normally use, we already have given authority to Rebecca to basically make those adjustments. But because the way the ordinance is written, I wanted to bring it to the board to see if you agreed that issuing a credit on a current unpaid bill as a incentive to sign up for the program made sense, but not go back any further than that. So I'll throw it to you. Rebecca, did I say that right?
Yep.
Scott, I know we've had, and Lynn, we've had discussions about this. Anything to add to our discussion or deliberation?
I just have a question to ask on the current billing. On this, what you presented has August and September. Is now the current billing October or November?
Yeah, she called, it's been a few weeks since she's called, so
Okay.
the current bill would actually be, for her, would have been, I believe, the September bill. Because in October, it went back down to her normal usage, so it would have been her September bill when she called.
So the request was made for a current bill.
Well said, and again, we've done our best. Again, I appreciate everybody's work on this. Obviously, if it's normally $32.50 and I see $177, I see $392, new home, something's going on, I'm hoping they're going to call you. They're going to get to the mayor, or they're going to get to us. What is going on here? I know that we constantly are allowing that. We need to continue to do that. We know that was not going down the suit. We know that. And so I, again, think we need to look in the direction of the citizens, the reality of how we want to bill, and look favorably with that. So, Mayor, I'm leaning and definitely recognizing this. And then I like the idea that Carrot, hey, did you know the summer credit? Well, no, I just bought the house. I didn't know what you guys are doing, but this doesn't look right. We need to look in that direction. So I'm strongly in favor of making the adjustment for this request.
For the current.
For the current.
Unpaid
Yes, for the current, I do
bill.
understand, yeah, because again, I would hope somebody would not ignore that. If I'm saying, no, wait a minute here, 177, I need to call, something's going on here. And again, that's where we would, have the ability to offer relief. And so, yes, current, I have an issue, I have a question, If you feel uncomfortable or you have questions, you always come to us, the public's aware of it. And again, we're looking in their direction.
Jeff, and that's a good point, because we've also asked Rebecca that in the future that she bring, just for our approval, any adjustments that she's made. So that all these adjustments will be publicly shared, and the reasons will be stated, be it a leak, be it a summer credit adjustment, whatever it is.
Right.
Well, that's something good that came out of our discussion. And not to question her judgment, but it's just nice that she doesn't have to worry about making the decision without our oversight. And so I think that's another good practice.
I really appreciate the fact that you try to red flag these, see, let's try to do the right thing. But then again, like the mayor just said, at times you've come before the community and said, hey, let's make this, and maybe people learn from it. They're gonna hear about it. They hear it in the local news outlet, what we're offering. I know you put it on the billing and all that kind of stuff, but again, I just think this is the right approach. We need to have the guidelines, but yet there are times, Mayor, you've been a good example to me, yeah, you gotta make adjustments here. We gotta work through it, so.
And I also want to recognize our city attorney for his leadership on this and figuring out maybe the right way to kind of dovetail this in with our ordinance. I think this really makes sense. And our precedent today, I think, then will allow us to, when we get future requests, to handle them that same way. George, any thoughts?
I agree. And once again, it's fair, the water, we're not running the water through wastewater. She fills a pool or someone has a leak, so I think it's only fair we approve something like this.
All right, is that a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Any final comments, Rebecca?
No, that's fine. Did you want to mention about the sewer liens?
The what?
The sewer liens starting back up?
Yeah, well, let's get through this
Okay,
first.
I just want to make sure.
All right?
And look,
Let's
Yeah.
call the question. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right,
and that's for 39210, correct?
you can talk to Rebecca about that afterwards. It appears that's what that is. Okay, and then we are going to resume sewer liens on unpaid bills. We've been pretty much not doing those through the COVID situation. We talked about that earlier. We're getting pretty much a significant backlog, and there's we don't want this just to become a crutch. We've done it for good reason, and I think that it was helpful during these difficult times. But it's been about 6 months now. It's time that we resume that. So, should we have a motion to do that, or?
Well,
I don't think we need to, but I'll
so
defer.
the reason we hadn't done it was the governor's executive orders prevented it. And then, as a board, you discussed the governor's, as I recall, the governor's executive order. The governor's executive order does not prevent sewer liens any longer.
That expired in
I believe
August.
And so, you as the collectors of the public service debt, it's up to you whether you want to resume the sewer liens.
Right. So right, and that's, we now would request that those be resumed as of now.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I just want to mention too, that if people do have an amount that they are owing, they can always come into the sewage collection office or call and make plans to make a payment plan. So the sewer liens aren't filed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, Rebecca.
Okay, thank you.
All right, item 11, let's see, wastewater, Brian.
Yes, we're asking you, accept the bid, and we'll notice proceed to, not notice proceed, but award the bid then to Granite Inliner for this lining project that we bid. We opened bids last Friday in a public opening. You can see from the engineer's recommendation that the project was originally estimated for $486,000. Admittedly, the engineer thought that was probably a little high, but our low bid was $219,000, so that was a pleasant surprise, and that was the last bid we opened of the 5. They have made contact with that bidder. Everything's correct. They enjoy working for the city of Warsaw. They were the ones that did our small one and large diameter lining in the sanitary sewer. So we're just asking that you accept this bid. My recommendation and engineer's recommendation.
All right, thank you, Brian. Again, this is a project, this is separate from our $10 million rehab that we just completed earlier this year.
Yeah.
This is a continuance of that need that I know, Brian, you were very adamant that, we handled that big amount with the SRF loan, that large volume of work, but we needed to continue to play catch-up with annual
And this is actually a
projects.
stormwater project.
Okay.
This is the 36-inch line running around Center Lake that drains the park area and clear, east of the railroad tracks. And so it's a major storm line. We have really bad root problems at every joint. The pipe's in good shape. The roots just get in there, restrict the flow. Once we got this all cleaned out, that's where we haven't had the flooding at Central Park now. It's helped with a lot of drainage issues that we had. So we want to get this line because it's a huge maintenance for us. Every year, we have to set up our big saw and go through these lines with our trucks, and it takes weeks to saw these roots out and get it opened back up. So we have it cleaned right now. We want to get it lined, and then we won't have to worry about it as much.
All right, thanks for pointing that out, because the item states sewer rehab, and I was under the assumption it was sanitary, but you're right, it's storm sewer. And this is, again, one of those stormwater utility projects we talked about earlier this week at council when we adjusted our rate, so.
And Brian, you use your camera truck to confirm the work's done afterwards, right?
Yeah, we will camera it, but then the contractor's also required to provide a pre and post video with their work.
Okay.
I move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Plan expansion, another engineering payment, SRF payment to Wessler.
Yeah, this is for the plant expansion, construction oversight questions that have come up. Just requesting payment.
All right.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, here's a similar request for sewer rehab project.
Yes, this was for the original sewer rehab project, the SRF funds. Working on, we still have a few funds available, and we've been sort of looking at other lines that we can use those funds that are available to us so we can maximize those dollars that we got. So that's what the majority of this is for.
All right.
Essentially, we're looking at putting out another package to bid on, combining SRF funds from our budget that we dedicate for capital expenses, and sort of putting out one more project.
So would that be remaining SRF funds?
Remaining SRF
Yeah.
funds, and then our own capital budget money.
Part of that original 10 million?
Part of that original 10 million.
Yeah, okay.
The remaining balance is 258,000. You saw it on the form here?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Brian. Jennifer, wage and hire report.
Yes, we have a few things, 4 things from the police department and 1 at the street department. Justin at the street department got his CDLA, and we have some switching around of shifts. And then also a promotion for Clayton is a 2nd shift corporal now.
All right, are there any questions?
Move to approve all as presented.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Thank you.
Thank
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Lynn, any special claims today?
No special claims today.
All right, so we've got the dockets, there's 3 of them, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Do you see anything on there, Jeff?
No.
Question? I didn't. You okay with it, Joe?
I am,
All right, I think I'll move to approve the claims docket.
Second.
all right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, are there any other items to be brought to the board? Okay, Joel, did you have an item? All right, turn around, sit up straight now. I'm not gonna tell you again. All right, thank you. Any visitors, questions, or comments? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you.
Don't pick on little Joel.
I don't understand what Pam was saying. Why can't they sign?
Pretty good, how you doing?
We always have copies, because she always brings it.
All right, all right.
So this stuff is all 3 of you?
Okay.
Yeah, I got mad because I still have the last one.
What's that?
Only one? Just one. Well, that's
Looks like a
good.
pencil. That's a pencil, man. Yeah. How are you?